We tried Indiana Jones Greatest Stunts. Here's what happened.
What are we going to be doing, Dad?
Well, we're going to be performing 3 challenges of such lethal cunning.
What are they?
I don't know.
One of the most famous stunts from Raiders of the Lost Ark is when Indiana Jones is getting drugged behind the truck. He attaches his famous whip and he has to crawl back onto the truck to continue his adventure. Well, we're going to do the exact same stunt, but we're going to make it a little bit harder, a little bit more buff dudes in that way. And as you can see here, we got a nice thick rope and it's pretty long. How long is this?
41 feet.
So it's 41 feet. I think Indiana Jones' whip was
10
feet. So we're extending it by 30 plus feet.
And how long do we have to travel? Quarter of a mile?
Yeah.
This is gonna be a lot of biceps, a lot of lats, and a lot of grit. I'm a little nervous about it. I mean, we're being drugged on some gravel. I mean, we're gonna try to clear the road from any of the big rocks, but other than that, we just gotta get through it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. You trust Marcus driving this?
Drive, yes. Safely? No. Now, I don't know if the real Indiana Jones did this or not, but we are. Because Indiana Jones is all about the prized possessions and we don't want to lose our buff dude jewels.
There's Moose Knuckle and then there's Elephant Toe.
My father liked Sean. This is where Junior came from.
It was the McDonald's VHS special that introduced me to Indiana Jones in 1992.
Just $5.99 each with the purchase of any large sandwich all day long.
Watched it every single day after school. So I have been preparing for this scene my entire life. Now it is time to see if I can actually perform it properly.
I'm starting to feel about the age of Harrison Ford in Dial of Destiny. It's not the years, it's the mileage. Whew. And if it's the mileage, I'm about 82 years old right about now.
This is the, what, 5th take now? 6th?
Like there. You ready, Brandon?
Yeah. Gordon.
So those rocks hurt. That's a true buff dude workout right there. Oh. That is.
How you feeling?
I don't have the leather jacket.
Yeah, I know.
I need all the help I can get. Just got a little thin cotton barrier.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's not only very physical, but that mental aspect starts kind of coming into play too, because getting drugged behind a vehicle and it's gonna be painful. Seeing Hudson do it, that was nice. Seeing the technique, seeing that it's possible, that always helps. But yeah, I think I'm ready.
Did it.
If we were a big crew, we might have been able to get this done in one shot, but unfortunately we don't have multiple cameramen, so we've had to do it multiple times in order just to get an understanding of how this stunt works. This was my 8th time performing this stunt. As you can see, we had to add a little bit of pads because my forearms, they're done. Any tiny pebble at this point is excruciating, and that leather is a lifesaver, but I am so glad I was finally able to do it on that 8th attempt because I don't think I got any more in me.
You try to be as safe as you can, and being drugged behind a vehicle. There's rocks and gravel and all kinds of stuff in here, and an element of a little bit of danger to it.
Damn right there is.
But that's Indiana Jones, right?
Adventure is his middle name. That sweat is wild. I was just filling up with sweat in that leather jacket. Oh man.
Body built by adventure.
I was feeling every inch getting pulled behind that. Wow. You can tell that there's a lot of friction there. Whew. Yeah. There's only so much protection this has. You still feel it. Whew. Oh man. I am glad that is over with.
I'm locked in.
Henry Jones Sr. hasn't seen action in a while. It's a little dusty down there.
We barely survived the truck drag, and now we are on to the next dangerous stunt. And in Raiders of the Lost Ark, he kept a group of pursuers away with the bullwhip. We are going to be trying the same combination that Indiana Jones did, which was named after that scene, and that is the Cairo crack. We're going to be doing a slight variation on that combination, so we're going to be doing an underhand, a cattleman's crack, and an overhead crack. And the bullwhip is not a tool that can be taken lightly. I've already smacked myself multiple times trying to get this down, and it does not feel good. So we're gonna try this combination, hopefully without hurting ourselves. 3 combinations. Let's see if it's possible.
Whenever you're ready.
And for someone who has just begun using this for the very first time, it is very physically taxing. You're not supposed to muscle it, so for a buff dude such as myself, that can be a very hard thing to remember. And really, it's almost like, for me at least, an extreme battle rope workout, still trying to get the mechanics of it down. Oh man. But there is only so long you can do this before either hurting yourself or winding yourself.
It's a bit intimidating. I have not tried this. I mean, Henry Jones Sr. doesn't use a whip, so this is a first for me. We're gonna see if I can get that crack. It's hard getting that crack. Junior! You didn't do your homework. Time to whip ya. Yeah.
How'd that feel?
That felt good, man, getting that crack. It is funny how much of a shoulder and arm workout that is. I was not expecting that. I mean, I've only been doing it for like 5 minutes trying it out, but man, that is a shoulder workout for sure.
What were your nerves like?
It was definitely, I was not want to do it. I mean, just hearing that crack and seeing Hudson do it, it looks very, very dangerous. But once you get the technique down, the angles and stuff, it actually feels pretty safe because you're going away from you. But you definitely have to keep your wits about you and make sure this does not come back at you. Because man, that crack is intimidating. I feel like if I was a guy coming at a guy with a bullwhip and he was just doing that, I mean, I'm hearing that crack, I would run. There's no way. I'm not gonna be fighting that. So definitely an amazing weapon for sure, as long as you're not fighting people with guns.
This is my new favorite toy. I'm carrying this thing everywhere I go from now on. Now it's time to find some Nazis. We've got some of the cracks down, we've got some of the combinations, but now we got to see what kind of damage this thing would inflict, and we have the perfect opponent. Our old friend Bob. Bob, I'm sorry, but you're going to be meeting the end of this bullwhip. Glad it's you and not me, buddy. So we're preparing Bob now. What we're gonna be doing is using some DIY squibs. Now, squibs are what they used a lot back in the day. They're practical effects to do that amazing blood explosion when you get shot. We're doing our very low budget style, but it was really one of the things I appreciate about the original Indiana Jones movies, their reliance on practical stunt work, practical VFX. When you watch a modern movie now, a lot of the stuff is CGI, the blood, and it just doesn't have that same impact Raiders of the Lost Ark, Last Crusade had. So that's another reason why we're such a big fan of this movie series, and we're gonna see if we can replicate that effect. Indiana Jones is also a dermatologist, and I'm gonna be using my very cutting edge procedures in order to take care of this thing. As you can see, I got a little sloppy though, so a little bit of damage involved. You gotta be careful with this thing, it's a weapon, so you gotta respect it. This snake has a nasty bite and a lot of venom at the end of it. Well, we survived. Barely. Truck drag, multiple whips, multiple whippings to myself.
That was a hell of a lot of fun. And I think I'm gonna take a Epsom salt bath. I'm a little sore.
So until next time,
Stay buff.
yeah.
God damn it, where doesn't it hurt?
It hurts everywhere.